New Yorkers are being asked to choose between Planet and Pizza. City Hall could force pizzerias to install emissions control devices on their coal and wood-fired ovens to improve air quality. Critics say that will cost a lot of dough, boom, boom, and may even ruin the flavour of the legendary New York slice. This has enraged locals.
Give us pizza or give us death.
Well, one man turned up at the mayor's office to throw pizzas over the fence in protest, shouting, "Give us pizza or give us death." The famous pizza reviewer Dave Portnoy has vented his rage.
Apparently, in New York City, some little liberal arts, Ivy League, pink-haired, crazy liberal who's never worked one day in the real world is on an environmental commission. And they woke up from their little nappy poo, wherever that may be. And they're like, I figured out how to save the world today.
Dave's not happy, is he? Well, even Elon Musk, whose Tesla electric cars are a massive aid in fighting global warming, tweeted, "This is utter BS. It won't make a difference to climate change." Well, joining me now, live from his New York pizza restaurant, is Paulie G. And I'm also joined by the editor of the Heated newsletter, Emily Atkin. OK, well, look, this is a heated debate in many ways. Paulie, let me start with you. I've got some pizza here. I love pizza. I love coming to New York and having a slice over there. I know exactly how it's made. I like the way it's made, and I'm with Elon Musk. I don't think it's going to make any difference, this initiative, to combating climate change. What is your view, though, as a pizza man in New York who may have to potentially face crippling financial penalties because of this?
Well, small pizzerias, small business owners are being asked to put these devices on. I put my device on in 2019. We were supposed to have this done by January 2020. That never came through. But I'm happy that I did, because my flue is near an apartment building right next to me. And the smoke that was coming out when we started the fire or when we threw another log on the fire, was disturbing my neighbors. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to spend $20,000, but I did. And I'm glad I did. But, now... businesses after the pandemic, I think you'll find that most small businesses like mine are not doing as well as they did before.
OK, so this is interesting. So broadly speaking, Paulie, what you mean is you kind of agree with the principle of this, but the cost may just be too prohibitive.
Well, I agree in principle that it's good for air quality in New York.
Yeah.
It's certainly the mayor compared the smoke that comes out of 100 of these ovens to the smoke that came out of the fires in Canada and made it practically impossible to see across the city. And if that was the case with these 100 ovens, why can we look across and see a beautiful skyline?
Well, that is a good point. So, Emily Atkin, look, we started this show tonight with the Just Stop Oil protests in the UK, which is a similar theme about fossil fuels and the emissions and so on. Why target pizza slices in New York?
Well, it's interesting. I'm not really here to talk about the merits of the rule or debate whether it's a good idea or not. My real thing that I've been trying to put forward is to have people understand that despite how it's been characterized, this rule isn't intended to solve climate change. I myself took a look at the proposed rule when I saw the first New York Post report about this. I'm a journalist myself, so I care about the facts. I'm also a New Yorker, and I paid for my college tuition at a SUNY school by working at a pizzeria. So I care very much about this. And I didn't see the words climate, carbon, or carbon emission one time. So I've been very concerned with how this has been described as a rule to solve climate change when it doesn't really appear that that's what it is. It's a rule to reduce particulate emissions exactly for the neighbors that Paulie was just talking about.
It's interesting. I had what I thought was regular bad allergy issues, which I thought were hay fever. And then 6 months ago, someone pointed out to me that I live in a very heavily polluted part of London, one of the worst in the country, in the UK, and advised that I get some air purifying machines in my house and not go out if a air quality app said it was really bad out there. So I did both things. And I've had zero allergy problems, really, pretty much, in the last 6 months for the first time in many years. So I completely sign up to this pollution issue. The question, I guess, Paulie, is can you divorce the two things? I mean, heavy pollution, clearly many people believe that is a contributory factor to the general issue around climate change, the future of the planet, and so on.
100 pizza ovens that operate part of the day is not going to cause the kind of pollution that we're talking about. There are many other things that cause that type of pollution. And, you know, and the government is willing to subsidize efforts to improve that. And a perfect example is the ferry that's about 2 blocks from my pizzeria here. The New York City ferry charges about $4 per ride to people. And they did a study, and the cost of operating that is over $10 a ride. So that method of reducing emissions is being subsidized. They're asking small businesses who, again, you know, thanks to the pandemic, we're really not doing as well as we were, and costs are going up even on these devices we have to put on.
Right.
I spent $20,000. Right now, it's almost $25,000.
Yeah.
But there's, you know, this is an unfunded mandate.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. Emily, if you were running the country, and let's face it, you probably couldn't do a worse job right now. But if you were running the country,
Thank you.
what would be the main thing you would want to do immediately to achieve what you would like to achieve with the planet?
I mean, if I were running the country, we would certainly have a very different country, but I generally don't even think about that because I am a journalist, right? Like, this is what I am super passionate about is making sure that we're having fact-based debates. And I think that this debate in particular has been sort of warped to be about something that it's not, about improving overall air quality in the city, which it's sort of about, but not really about solving climate change, which it's not really about.
Okay,
it's about this very this very specific thing, which is having smoke blowing into your neighbors.
I think you may look at. I think
apartments.
we've run out of time. That's why I'm cutting. I'm sorry. It's a really interesting debate. Thank you both for joining me. I think you're kind of right, actually, both of you, which is a strange way to end a debate, but I do. Thank you both very much.